How are you?
Good. I was telling everybody I can't wait for them to see your hairdo.
Oh, my hairdo.
It looks so pretty. I was asking everybody where they're from. Where are you located?
I'm in New Hampshire.
New Hampshire. Yeah, we have some New Yorkers. We have somebody from Canada, South Florida. I'm jealous of the beach.
Oh, I want to be at the beach.
I know, me too. I used to get to go a
love
lot.
the beach. So I'm seeing requests to join. Do I mean.
Oh,
no.
just ignore it. Yeah,
Okay.
You're on now.
Okay,
Hey,
I just want to
Carly.
make sure. Hello, everyone.
So this is Monika. Monika, let's just get right into it. Tell everybody where you're from and kind of how you came to know about the wig company. I don't even think I know your story about how you found the wig company.
Okay. Well, my name is Monika McGillicuddy, and I always say that I'm basically a YouTuber because that's how I started. I started creating videos. I'm in real estate and I work full time still. I do a lot of training. I teach a lot of new agents all sorts of different skills. But I started my YouTube channel because of real estate many, many years ago. And slowly over time, I discovered that I had a passion for, like makeup and skincare, and I enjoy talking about that a lot more than houses for sale. And my channel kind of morphed into that realm. But because I have thinning hair, and when I was a young girl, I hate to really date myself, but I can remember back, I have a photo of myself. I think I might have mentioned this. I have a photo of myself standing in a midi dress with this big blonde afro wig on, and it was like 1968 or 1969, and I was so styling. So I've always had, I don't know whether it's a desire, a passion, or an interest in alternate hair. I remember buying, back in the day, they used to have what we call falls, which was what you would have long hair extensions today, but I remember having falls, and I used to tease my hair up and then clip the fall underneath it and walk around with all this long, gorgeous hair and just be strutting my stuff. I loved it. So I've always had that passion, for exploring all those different types of things. And I think growing up in the 60s, it didn't matter back then whether your hair matched. I had my bio hair hanging out. It was a completely different color than the blonde afro. It didn't matter. We were free to kind of explore our personalities, and it was totally different times. So, but
well, that's really,
slowly,
that's so interesting that you said that, because I do feel like in the 60s, people were a little bit more open about wearing, alternative hair. Like it wasn't so, secretive. So yeah, when did you feel like that kind of changed?
Well, I got married, had kids, and went into real estate full time. So it wasn't, I didn't play around with a lot of different hair, alternatives hair, in my younger years after I got married. But then I discovered, I don't even know where I was looking at a catalog, and I discovered like these little, I call them fake buns, which you call wraps today. And I discovered that, and I said, wow, I wanted to get that. So I remember ordering this wrap, and at the time it came in a big claw clip.
Yeah.
And I would have a hard time holding it in my hair because I didn't have enough hair to really hold it up, But I just thought that was so amazing. And so whenever I looked at people, I looked at their hair, and I started to realize that a lot of the actresses, they all had alternate hair, fake hair, helper hair. And I said, wow, this is amazing. So that's when I started to really explore. My family has a history of thinning hair for us women. And one thing I noticed, that when I would talk to women about hair, whenever they talked about thinning hair, they started to whisper. And I really noticed that you talk softer. If you talk about false eyelashes or false nails or this or that, you're like, whoa, look at me, You talk about hair and you're like, So that really bothered me. And when my YouTube channel kind of morphed to more beauty, I thought hair was just a natural extension of that. And I have a lot of followers on YouTube that are not necessarily into hair, but I always say it's just like the skincare, the makeup I'm using, the hair is an accessory. So I love playing with hair. When I was a little girl, I cut my Barbies and my Midge's hair all the time. I'd get a Barbie doll or a Midge, and I loved Midge because she had that longer hair. I just cut her hair and style it. So I've
I did
always played
too.
with hair. Did you?
Yeah, totally. That's kind of, it's funny because that's part of my like about me, like how I got into the industry is that, well, one of my aunts, I grew up, she was really good with hair, and she would always teach me how to do braids. And so I loved it from an early age, but I would also cut my Barbie doll's hair. So I always say that I've been working with synthetic hair since I was 2
I
because
yeah.
it's true. Like, and I would cut it and my sister's like, "Oh my God, that looks really good." But it's so funny.
I could say the same thing, I guess, that I've been playing with synthetic hair. I remember one time, and it was in a store called WC Grants. I'm sure they don't have that anywhere in the world anymore. But I remember going into that store and buying, it was probably more like Halloween hair, but I remember buying purple hair dye. My good friend Marlene Fab and Glam, she would crack up. But I remember buying purple dye and actually tipping the fake hair into the purple dye. It looked horrendous, but I was having fun playing with it.
So I know you talked a little bit about how thinning hair is just something, genetic or hereditary in your family. And you kind of started wearing alternative hair just for fashion purposes. Do you feel like you still kind of gravitate toward it for fashion, or now you do kind of rely a little bit more on it?
I do rely a lot more. I probably wear more toppers in my day-to-day life.
Hmm.
And I'll wear my wigs. I go out with my husband. I have so many wigs that I absolutely really love, and I wear them a lot in real life. On all my videos, I'm always wearing some sort of helper hair. I'm very rarely in my bio hair in any of my videos. So, but I do wear a lot of toppers. The topper I have on today. You
I
know,
know, which is crazy. So everybody stay tuned because Monika is going to show us what she's wearing. She's going to take it off and put it back on. It literally looks amazing, like
thank
amazing. When we
you.
were talking earlier, I didn't realize she was already wearing the piece. I thought it was your hair. It looks so natural. So we'll talk a little bit about what she's wearing. I actually helped her, pick it out. So yay.
Yeah.
It looks really good. But we'll talk a little bit more about it. She's going to show you guys like her go-to hairstyling tips. And like, I love that you do wear toppers because we haven't talked about toppers yet with Hair and Happiness. So I'm so glad that you can kind of help women that maybe are, transitioning toward wearing a wig and maybe they want to try toppers first. So we'll be answering all your questions. If you have specific questions, please enter them in the comment section or use the little question bubble and we'll see those pop up. Feel free to pick my brain or pick Monika's brain. I love that you have so much experience with the pieces. If somebody maybe has a question, like definitely type it in there. But let's get back to my questions for you. So I know on your social media through YouTube, you're so confident and you're so open about wearing, alternative hair, helper hair. How do you feel you got to that point where like maybe it was kind of taboo or you've noticed that, but you decided to just be really confident and open about it?
It didn't happen overnight. It really didn't, to be honest with you. And especially with wigs, because when you put a wig on, there's just so much more hair than you're used to. And so it's
Mhm.
harder. But I found, and I would say the hair wraps helped me. I would wear these hair wraps. Right now, my hair is very, very short. And I have it pinned up so it looks like it's long, but I have a hair wrap on and I have a topper on, so it looks completely different. But I just the more I created videos, the more I realized I was out there. And when you're out there, people will criticize. I've had some people that have said, "Oh, I don't like that on you," or this or that. And I just really, I know so many women that suffer in real life with thinning hair or hair loss, and it breaks my heart that they have to feel bad about themselves. And that I think really pushed me when I first started doing wig reviews, when I had wigs that were sent to me complimentary for a review. I was like, oh, I always thought of them. I always thought of them. I thought, well, they could see it on me, on a real person. Maybe they could feel more comfortable. And I just kept doing it. And the more you do it, the more you put yourself out there, the more you realize you can do it. You can always do anything you put your mind to doing. So yeah,
I
I've
love that.
done, I've done that. I've walked around with a wig cap and I remember saying I would never pull a wig off and put a wig cap on, but in a video. And then I ended up doing that. So
I
yeah.
think too, it's kind of like, maybe when you're not wearing makeup, and then you kind of just don't feel comfortable maybe you know, for somebody to see you or to do
Yeah.
a video, and you just, the more you do it, you embrace your own natural, you know, beauty, and you see yourself, you know, how everybody else sees you, which is beautiful. So I love that. What advice would you give to somebody new to wigs? Maybe somebody that's not sure whether or not to get a topper versus a wig. I know you have such great, you know, points on that. So maybe somebody's new, maybe their hair's thinning or they're just not happy with their hair. So what advice would you give to somebody that's wondering, should I get a topper or should I just get a wig?
I think it's all really going to depend on how far along their hair loss journey they're in. You know, how much of their bio hair do they have? Because toppers are not for everyone, and you have to have enough good hair to clip the clips in, and you have to, you know, make sure you don't clip them in too tight. I know that there are that you can get like grippers and stuff like that to hold them on. I don't. I just clip them into my own hair, and you know, I try to not do it too tight. So for me, the biggest advice I can tell anyone, if you're thinking about a wig or a topper, is look at yourself and measure your face. I mean, once I realized that from my hairline to my chin, I was 9 inches. So when I looked at somebody that had a topper on, right, and it looked awesome, and they had a really short face, I knew that would be really short and curly on me, and that it wouldn't work for me. And the same thing with a wig. You know, I would look at a wig that I really liked, and it would look really long on someone. I'd go, that's really cool length. It goes right to my collarbones, and then I would get it and it'd be up here. And so it took me a while to realize that. I would just say measure your face, measure, you know, all your dimensions, especially around your head. And then if you're really thinking about a topper, go on YouTube and search toppers. There's a number of different ladies that do review toppers. I think the hardest thing is color matching, but I am so thankful that we're back in the time frame where it doesn't have to match perfectly anymore. This is a classic example. These two pieces I have don't match.
I know. So let's talk about that a little bit. So it's so interesting that it's funny because I'm kind of those same two colors that you're wearing. So Monika's topper is the Chameleon by Raquel Welch, which is part of the Transformations collection. It's amazing. So when she takes it off, we'll show you guys the base and kind of give you a little bit more details. But that color that she's wearing is the R1488H, which is one of our lighter blondes. It's very popular in the blonde category. And then your Casual Dew, which is the wrap, is in the 1416T, which is actually a darker, kind of more golden tone. But you can see how together they just work so well. And I'll tell you what the secret is with that, because it is something with the Raquel Welch hairdo brands that they use 7 to 11 different shades to make these colors. It's actually really cool the way they blend them, and an upcoming blog that's going to come out talking about synthetic is going to talk about how, you know, the technique that they do to blend all these shades together. But what that does is it gives the color dimension, and it's crazy that 2 or 3 different people with totally different hair color will all wear the same hair color piece, the hair color in their hair piece, because it picks up those different tones. It's amazing. So yeah, like Monika said, like don't be too worried about selecting the color.
Yeah, this is the exact same color.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah, and I love the wraps because they're like scrunchies, and you know, you can wrap them around your ponytail or whatever. And if you don't have a thick ponytail, you have to wrap it twice like me. Or if you have a really nice long claw clip, you just hold it along the side and clip it in. You don't even have to wrap it around your ponytail. I do that a lot too.
I can't wait for you to show us that, because that's genius. Honestly, genius. So we'll get to that in just a moment. But talk to me and to our audience about some of your favorite brands and kind of what makes them your favorites.
Well, anyone that really knows me will know what my answer is on my favorite brand, because I've made no secret of it. I am a huge Raquel Welch wig fan. I love their pieces. And I think the very first wig I got was a Flirt Alert in the Raquel Welch wig. I still have it, and I think that was in Shaded Wheat, and I love that one. My second one was Editor's Pick in Shaded Cappuccino. And I love that, and I love that color. I wear it often, and I'm debating, I'm going to a wedding. This is her. And I love the colors. you know, and I'm going to a wedding and I'm debating, I'll probably bring her, but I'm also debating to pin her up at the wedding instead of wearing her down. So, but I love the Raquel Welch line. I love Aesthetica. I've got a few pieces of Aesthetica. In fact, one of my dear friends sent me an Aesthetica wig, Jameson in Vogue, which I've just done a color comparison. Thank you, Marlene, Wig and Chat Studio. I think she's here watching. I thought I saw her name pop
Hopefully.
up, but
Okay.
and that's Aesthetica in Vogue, and it's like so outside of my comfort zone in color. It's really pretty.
Well, we'll
Really,
have you put it on later. Yeah, it's gorgeous.
it's really pretty. So as I'm trying to maneuver here. And then I have a couple of the wig company pieces that I really like. I have hairdo that I really like. I've got a number of different wigs. When I wear a wig, because I have a very high forehead, so I like to have a really good lace front. Hi, Marlene, I see I'm here. And I like to have a really good lace front, and I love having a mono top so that I can, do a natural part. And yeah, so I'm not super fussy. I even like permatease. I like permatease a lot. I just don't like a lot of permatease, but I have a flat head. I know you probably don't see it, but I do have a flat head. So when I wear a wig that has no permatease, I'm going to spritz it with a little bit of the sea salt spray. Stuff, spritz it, and then I'm going to try to push it up a little bit because I like a little bump.
A
As
little
you can tell
volume.
by this.
I love it. And then I know you told me some of your go-to colors, but let everybody else know, what are some of your go-to? I know you talked about Raquel, so that Vogue color is out of your comfort zone. So what colors do you typically gravitate towards?
I really love the shaded cappuccino range. I do have a couple of shaded biscuit, but they're a little bit too light for me. I gravitate towards the blondes, not super, normally not really golden, more in the cool tone, although my own hair is blonde. So, but I don't know. I'm pretty open, I think, with a lot of different colors. I'm starting to explore. The only thing I haven't explored yet are the grays. I have plenty of gray. When I pull this off, you'll see all my gray. But, like right now, this is my hair. This is my hair. So I have my own hair, and you can't even really see, other than you can see a little bit more of a blonde streak there, which I think looks really cool.
Does wearing the toppers and the wraps, does that help you not have to color your own hair as frequently? Does it like help with maintenance of your own hair?
Yeah, during COVID, during the pandemic, I worked from home a lot. And I think there was probably a good 6 months and I didn't go anywhere with, for hair, and my grays were really long, and I would end up putting Upstage on almost every day, Raquel Welch Upstage. I would put that on because I was teaching via Zoom. So I was teaching all these classes remotely, and I always had a wig on. And then I got to the point where I had an ongoing class with the same people in it. So one day I wore Upstage, then one other day I ended up going something longer, then I would pin my hair up. And they were always wondering, which Monika was going to show up to teach the class today.
And how do you handle that type of scenario or situation? Are you upfront about it? Do you tell people, hey, I'm wearing a wig? Or do they comment, or they're just like, oh, she must be wearing extensions? Or
if somebody asks me, I tell them. But like one day I went in the office and I could tell the person I was talking to, they were really looking at my hair. And I'm going, it's a topper. She goes, oh, I just thought you had it colored and it was really good. And I said, oh, thank you. So sometimes I will, but more often than not, I don't say anything. I wait for them to ask. And if they ask, then I'll answer them honestly. I do feel it's my hair. I bought it. I styled it. I wear it. It's my hair, and
so
whether or not it's helper or all real, my own bio, it's still my hair. And I just put a smile on my face, and I am a naturally very smiley person anyway. So I just put a bigger smile on my face, and I crack up. I'll just laugh at myself at times. So I try to do it very naturally and be just very relaxed about it. It is what it is.
Yeah. And I love that. I love that attitude you have about it, and how you really want to inspire women to, not be afraid to speak up and not whisper about it, because there's nothing to be ashamed of or nothing to whisper about. We all wear heels, we all wear fake nails, lashes,
Yeah.
makeup. It's the same thing. So yeah.
And we put on, makeup, we fix our hair, we put on high heels for eyelashes and, nails and the whole 9 yards. And we feel really good, right? We stand taller, we feel confident, we feel comfortable. Hair is just another little part of that.
I love that. Okay, so we talked about your favorite brands, and when you talk about some of your favorite hair pieces, let's just get into our demos. So you're wearing the chameleon and casual do. So I know we talked about it, so you're going to go ahead and take this down, even though it looks so gorgeous. I hate to ask you to do that. But go ahead and, yeah, it looks so cute. So let's have you take it down, and then I would love for you to put it back in so everybody can get some styling ideas. I just love this look so much.
I'll do that. I will tell you too that I've worked all day, so it is kind of messy, and I have bobby pins all over the place. So I cannot do this with my short hair without having bobby pins. But literally, there goes my comb. There goes my piece.
And so you didn't actually wrap it around your hair. You just held it up and then clipped it.
I did. But if you look at my little ponytail.
Wow, that's
nothing's going to hold up, right? So I wrap this around twice. That's how thin my ponytail is. I was able to wrap it around twice. But sometimes I just put this like the long way. Like, let's see if I go.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'll just do something like that and then pin up the back. I have no idea how bad it looks right now.
No, it looks great. Honestly,
and then other times I'll take this and I'll put it in my hair and I'll put this on the outside of it. So I'm creating like a little, do you see what I don't know if you can see it.
Yeah.
And this is kind of really fun when I do it, but this is my favorite. Can I show my favorite?
Yes, of course. Fun. Trendy do. Yeah.
Yeah. And a lot of people, if anyone is watching that has been on my YouTube channel or listen to my Insta stories, you've seen this. I used to wear this almost all summer, and I have another one. So I love this. I think this is so cool. And the same thing, when I would put this in my hair, I would do the same thing. I would wrap it up, get a comb, really. The messier, the better for me.
I like that too. Yeah, I try when I style wigs or, put a hairpiece in somebody's hair, unless the look is specifically very sleek. And even then, like if it's sleek on the top, but then the pony is kind of messy. Yeah. It looks so much more natural. So don't worry about it has to be perfect. The hair can't get out of place. Like it's okay if it's messy.
Yeah, I'm looking for my little mirror so I can see what I actually do look like. Oh my God. So this is it down. Now I would not wear this down without doing a little bit more styling because my hair has been pulled up so it's really flat underneath it. Mm-hmm. But when I wear a topper with my hair down, I can usually blend it. I might have some curls in, I can usually blend it pretty good. So now I'm going to take it off. I don't know if
it kind of paused for me for a second, but I actually thought you took off the topper.
No, the topper's still.
It's amazing. Okay, so that topper is chameleon. And actually when Monika and I first spoke and she told me that, she wanted to try one of the Raquel toppers, my favorite that I always recommend, and my mom actually loves that topper too, is the chameleon. And show everybody what the base of it looks like. Yeah, so it's a smaller base, but I love that because it still gives you full coverage on top, but it kind of just covers your part and maybe just a little the surrounding area of the part, but it's hand tied. It has smaller clips which are designed for finer, delicate hair, and also the inside of the clip has a silicone band, so it prevents breaking your hair. Front, it has a scalloped front, so it almost mimics like a lace front wig.
It's really nice.
It is really nice. That one is on sale for $133.45. It's Chameleon by Raquel Welch if you want to look it up on thewigcompany.com. But it's amazing for it to be fully hand tied, to have kind of that lace in the front. It's really, really great.
I was surprised at the color, to be honest with you, at how good the color, what a great match it was for me. because I was like really not expecting it to be that good of a match. I'm looking for my comb. I don't see it. But anyways, if you wanted to actually see this, what I normally do is I will tease my own bio hair up a little bit. And then depending on where I place this, you know, I'm going to put it in. And I usually put, you know, close one clip in the beginning and then I'm playing around with it. And I usually try to pull some of my bio hair out. It really all depends on what I'm doing. If I'm going to be putting it up, obviously, like this, I don't know if you can see it.
It looks great.
So I mean, to me, the toppers are, they're much easier for me to integrate into my daily life, you know? So then I would take this and I literally would just comb it back and comb it up. And then, you know, depending on how high up I'm going to go with it, I take a little elastic. Now I have the topper with me. See the little?
Your pony.
Yeah, so I have a little pony and I have the toppers in the pony. I usually like to put it up higher because I want to have that illusion of a bump. So I don't care if I make it totally flat, you know, because at this point in time, I can choose to either wrap this around the pony. And if I do that, I'm going to do it twice. I'm going to pull it twice. And when I do that, I sometimes have to go back in, you know, and put bobby pins in and then rearrange the top. But I kind of really like it to be, I don't know how messy it looks right now, but I kind of really like it to be messy. I don't want it to look like put together, you know. I don't want it to look like my mother's buns.
I love that. No, it's like, it's really on trend right now too, kind of just the 90s style with the clips. Yep. There's I think it's an Instagram company, but they make these really, really pretty hair clips. Some of them they're shaped like butterflies, or they'll like put your name, like bedazzle your name on the side. They're so cute. I'll have to post it soon. But
wow.
Like, don't forget that with alternative hair, you can still wear all your favorite hair accessories, your hair clips, your headbands. I always love talking about accessories because I love accessories, but I also feel like you don't have to, you know, pass on fashion items that you love just because you wear alternative hair. You can still incorporate them.
Yes. I have like barrettes, and I
love that.
Like I've got I didn't bring it in here because we're going to this wedding. So I have this really pretty rhinestone clip. Oh. So instead of this type of a clip, I'm going to wear the rhinestone clip. And then I have the most gorgeous rhinestone pins with like little diamond-y flowers. I think my hair will look good if I put my own hair up, or if I put editor's pick up, one or the other, it'll probably go up. So I don't know what my sides look like, but my hair is so short, I normally have to take a comb of some sorts to pin it up.
It looks amazing. It looks great. And so I love that when we were talking before our live, that you said for events, sometimes your go-to is just to go to the wig. Is it just easier that way? Like, you don't have to worry as much if your hair is cooperating that day, or...
Yes.
So tell us a little bit about like why you do that, or what makes you pick the wig over the topper?
Sometimes with the topper, especially, like, I hate to say this, if I just washed my hair is so thin. It needs to be a little bit texture. And I mean, I'll do I'll do sea salt spray and all that. But sometimes rather than doing that, I'll just throw on, typically the one I'm wearing for work is going to be Upstage, because that is the most manageable one, I suppose. You know, it's like when my hair was a little bit longer, I would wear my hair that length, and it didn't always look all that different. And I love I don't think I have it in here. I have Real Edge in here, which I thought I brought Upstage, but I didn't have Real Edge. This is another one that's very natural. Okay. So when I put this on my head, nobody can tell because the color is close, the length is close, and the fibers on Real Edge. Upstage has more volume, but I'll wear this and nobody knows. Nobody's ever said anything when I have this on my head.
I love that. So let's have you try on some of your wigs. Let's put that one on if you don't mind. And let's look at that that style. And before you put on each style, if you don't mind showing the inside of the cap so everyone can kind of get an idea of, I always like to say the outside, the way a wig looks on the outside is all about what's going on the inside, because the cap construction determines how the end result's going to be, or what the end result's going to be. Like if there's a natural look, or if it has, you know, volume, or the way that it moves, all of that is determined by the interior. Let me see.
So this is Real Edge. For some reason, I thought I was bringing it upstage, and I think I told you upstage. But
no, that's fine.
I
Okay.
love this.
Yeah.
Monofilament is absolutely beautiful. The lace front is just to die for, in my opinion. It is so realistic.
Mm-hmm.
And to me, this cap is super comfortable. Super comfortable. And the length is perfect for me, you know, and the color is perfect for me. So sometimes when I wear this, I don't even have to wear, because look how short my hair is, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't even have to wear a hair cap. I can just
I
put
get
it on.
that question a lot. If you know, if your hair's already short, do you have to wear a wig cap? And I always say it's up to you. You can put one on if you want to, but
Right.
you
It's
don't
up
have
to you. It's up to your comfort zone, you know. But when I wear this,
I mean, how quick was that?
I know it's like, and you know what? This really looks super realistic, I think.
It
You
does.
know? I've never had anyone say, is that a wig at all? Now I've got a lace front. I have a widow's peak, so I haven't really even matched this or lined it up. I just plopped it on my head. I love it.
I love it so
I mean,
much.
look how, I mean,
Yeah.
to me, right?
You
And
just
this,
went to the salon, got your color done, you got a haircut, you got it blown out, you're ready to go out.
I am ready to go out. I sometimes say that to my husband. You want me to be blonde tonight or what color? But I love this. I think this is just, it doesn't have like, it has enough lift and oomph. And yes, I did have to use some spray to do that.
Mm-hmm.
But to me, I think it looks so good. The fibers are awesome. I can tuck it. I can, you know, I could even try to put it up if I really wanted to, or at least put it in a low pony in the back. But I love the fact that I can tuck it. And if I want, I can pull out some of my bio hair, which is gray on the temples. I'm an old lady, what can I say? But yeah.
So we have a question come in. It says, if you're going to try on unfiltered, I don't know if you had that style with you, unfiltered by Raquel.
I have unfiltered, but it's in a shaded. Oh my gosh, it's in a darker color. You want me to get it and put on unfiltered?
Okay, well, so yeah, if you want to grab it, because she's saying that she has trouble with it falling in her face and that she's new with wigs.
Is it
so
unfiltered?
Maybe
I think it's unfiltered, the one I have.
It's up to you if you want to grab it, or just maybe tell us some of your tips when a wig, for the most part, it's when it has the eyelash bang that they call it. So
Yeah.
what are some of the things that you do to kind of get that not to fall in your face?
If it's heat friendly, you know, you can use heat on it, low heat.
Mm-hmm.
And in the beginning, even when it's not heat friendly, I use the heat from my hands, and I would just train. And you can also sometimes use a texturizing spray or a cream if you want. But if you take you just want to make sure you have temperature control if you do this, because you don't want to fry your wigs. But you can take a hot air brush and just very gently keep going back and training it into that position. And then what I did when it was still warm, I would take a clip and I would just clip it back, you know, on the wig stand or whatever, just clip it back, so that when it dried, it kind of when it cooled, it kind of cooled in that position. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So
totally. Yeah,
a little bit of heat, and that would work. I mean, that would work really great. So
and then my tip for styles that, you know, tend to just fall, play with the move or the placement of the part a little bit, because sometimes maybe the part needs to be shifted a little, so it's not so much of the volume and the heaviness falling forward. And then also massage, if it's hand tied, massage the knots at the hairline or at the part, and kind of make the hair go the direction you want it to go, because it's knotted at the base. So when you're massaging that with your fingers, it'll start to move in different directions, and you can control it or tell it where to go.
This one is editor's pick.
Oh, somebody asked what color did you have on that last style?
Shaded cappuccino.
Shaded
My favorite color.
Your favorite.
And this
It was
is
so
shaded
pretty.
cappuccino as well, but editor's pick.
I kind of want, okay, so everybody look at this cap, how it's different versus the last one you put on. That one has more of a closed crown, like right at the crown, like right here. When you want that added volume and you want it teased a little bit, that's already built in. So that has a little bit of a perma tease, but right at the crown, right where you want it. And it still looks so, so natural. The one prior had just the full mono top. So again, the inside of the wig, yeah, determines the outer style. So you'll notice that that one, the editor's pick, is going to have a little bit more volume.
Right. Real edge is sort of, in my opinion, more low density. Certainly, permatease is, if there's any, it's not, I don't know. I never noticed it. I always have to work on it. This one, a lot of people have, don't I look completely different in this?
So different. I love it.
But a lot of people have a hard time when they do editor's pick the first time because it's a lot of curls. And it's, I love it pinned back. This is why I'm thinking of bringing this for the wedding and pinning it like this.
Oh, that looks so
you
pretty.
know?
And then just wear some cute earrings and then with your bedazzled clip. I love it.
Yeah. So editor's pick, this is the exact same color. And shaded cappuccino is, like I said, that's my favorite shade. One thing I will tell any new wig wearer or anyone thinking about, you know, sticking to one color, even within the same brands, there's variations in the different colors. I had unfiltered in shaded cappuccino, and it was so blonde, I couldn't wear it. It was just too blonde. And I think I have, is it shaded? Oh gosh, Marlene, tell me what color it is. It's shaded chestnut, or it's really pretty. She lent it to me and I have that one and I love that shade. So
yeah, and so with wigs, especially hand-tied wigs, but with all wigs, I talk about this a lot because a lot of wigs will say that they're, you know, or they're described as machine wefted or machine made. And yes, they're made on a machine, but there's a person, a human, actually running that. It's like a sewing machine, either sewing something or just like hand stitching. But wigs are so like amazing, and they're handmade items. The colors are going to vary. Sometimes there's going to be a couple more of the highlights, couple more of the lowlights. I always like to say that it's kind of like your own hair. Like when I go and get my hair highlighted, I don't know if I'm going to be a little bit darker this time or a little bit blonder.
yeah,
You know, your stylist, they're either a little bit like happier with the foils or grab a little bit more hair, or they don't. So in the same way, wigs are going to be like your own hair, where it's going to vary, and that variance is great. Sometimes it's too much, like you said, it was too blonde, so maybe you'll switch to a slightly different shade, and it still complements your complexion and it looks similar. But yeah, no, I love these colors.
you can always get a root spray. So I cannot tell you how many two blonde shades that I have darkened a little bit with just a little bit of root spray. And
I love that root spray, actually.
You know, this is the Root Magic cover up, and I have like 5 bottles of it in different dark brown. I've got all these different colors. And yeah, this is a dark blonde. And if I feel something is too light, like I really thought that hair piece, the one that I have that you sent me, I thought I would have to darken it. I did not. I did not have to darken it at all. I was surprised because I thought it would be too golden.
Yeah,
but it's perfect.
It was perfect.
So,
okay, so somebody was asking what style you're wearing now. That's editor's pick, right?
Editor's pick. And Marlene chimed in and said it was shaded hazelnut. Do you want me to grab that wig?
Yeah, if you want to. Yeah, I know
okay.
I know you said you love it. Yeah, go ahead and grab it. I love all the different hairstyles. And just for our viewers, while she's going to grab that, so Editor's Pick is by Raquel Welch. So it's a monofilament lace front. I love it has a very modern kind of beachy wave. That's so pretty.
Isn't this pretty?
So it's a little darker. Put that one on. Let's see. I don't know if I've seen you with that dark of a color.
No, you probably haven't. I've got a wig, a video coming on Saturday where I'm wearing this, on Sunday where I'm wearing this wig.
I love that. So we'll be on the lookout for that too. Also, I cannot wait to see what you end up wearing to the wedding and how you style it. You'll have to post about it. So cute. So what style is this one?
Unfiltered?
Unfiltered.
Yeah, unfiltered in shaded hazelnut.
So cute.
So this is a real, I mean, I wanted to try this, and Marlene, good friend of mine, she had it and she said, let me send it to you so you can check it out. So she did.
Oh,
She sent me this one. She sent me a few others that I've been doing a little color comparison. I did a TikTok wearing them all. It was so funny.
Oh, I have to go look for that and watch it after. This
is completely different look. But again, for me, it's the color more than anything. I like the
So what was your initial thought when you put this one on? Because it's so, like you said, out of your comfort zone a little bit color-wise. What was your initial thought when you put it on?
I put this one on after I put on the Vogue wig. And when I put on Vogue, I love that color. I thought that color was beautiful, but on me, I didn't look good. So when I put this on, I could see the warmth in my skin color coming back, where in Vogue, I looked completely pale. It was like, but I love the color. I think it's such a pretty color. Look at that.
It's gorgeous. Yeah, it's gorgeous. And you're going to try that one on first too, though, even though I know you said you didn't love it, but I would love to see it on you.
If you want to see it on me, I can certainly be forced.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see it.
Okay. Let me take this one off.
They're all so fun too. And you'll have to maybe, I don't know if anybody want some ideas on how you store your wigs, or like what do you typically do? Do you have them? I know you showed some of the styrofoam heads. Do you have them on display, or what do you like to do? The ones that I wear over and over again, I will keep on a styrofoam head. That's pretty. Is this not wild? If somebody though has that like burgundy cherry red color, that's so pretty. It is a beautiful color. You can see my bio here because I don't have a wig cap on. So if I was really going to be doing this, I would be putting a wig cap on. I would be darkening my makeup. I'd probably go a little bit heavier on the eyebrows. And that's a really good point. I don't know if a lot of people think about that. When you change to a different color in your wig, your makeup is going to change a little bit too. Right. Like you said, you would deepen maybe your shadow or your brows. Everybody's loving it. The haircut's gorgeous. I'm this is what I love about alternate hair. I mean, you can be whoever you want to be. You're a different whatever color you want to be, I love the fact that the wigs today are not the wigs my mother had. You know what I mean? The quality is so good and so realistic, and the colors are just so much fun. So fun. It looks like a salon color, like you went and had a colorist do your hair. Yeah, I feel that way. But like I said, I would definitely darken, like maybe I don't wear false eyelashes, but I'm really tempted to start to wear false eyelashes because I think it would look better. But I would probably do a lot more around my eyes and darker lipstick or something. But nobody would recognize you. But nobody would recognize you in that. I feel like I need to reintroduce who this woman is. Yeah, I know. And I could wear this behind my ears too, which I kind of really love that. How do you showed like a small pearl clip. How do you usually use that? Do you use that in updos or when your hair is down? Yeah, it's so cute. It depends on, like, more often than not, I've used it on my editor's pick. I pulled back. I've never used it on this, but you can just, I don't want to stick it into the cap here, but, So cute. I wouldn't wear this color clip with this, but if you had a wig that you really wanted to keep it off your face, you could. I would have to make sure that and that's another thing too, you can see your bio here, some of the wigs, the earpiece doesn't go quite down far enough on me. And I'll tell you, a little bit of dark eyeshadow works wonders. Little dark eyeshadow, put it all around my grays here, and you'd never know it. Although on this wig, I probably should do like purple or something. You like this, Marlene? I can see Marlene. You like this, honey? Everybody likes it. It's Marlene's wig, Fab and Glam. Thank you, honey. It's so cute. What other styles did you have for us, or was that all of them?
No, I think the only one that because now I was going to try to show this with, I was so impressed with the colors of this wig. This is from the wig company.
I think that's a statement.
Yeah.
So
look at how close it is to my favorite shade of cappuccino. And I'm going to put this one on, and it is Statements and Rapture, and is it R11S plus? Is that the color?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
And just for everybody watching, so just so you guys know, Editor's Pick, which was the one that you might take to the wedding, with that really pretty curl, that one is on sale for $381. So it is a higher priced style, mainly because of the cap construction. But this style that you're going to put on in Rapture is $89. So you'll notice that there's huge price differences when you're shopping on the wigcompany.com, and it's not just because one is a designer name and one is maybe a brand that doesn't have the Raquel name on it. Has nothing to do with that. It actually has to do with the construction and some of the features that you're getting, whether it's lace front or a monofilament or maybe it's human hair. So all of those things will change the price. But you'll notice this in Rapture, you can still get something that looks really natural, even if it's under $100. So cute. So it's more like your own haircut, I feel like.
It's close for sure. Now with this, I have way more hair. If I was going to wear this personally, I would probably thin a little bit of this out with some thinning shears and maybe just trim slightly, because the way the pattern of the hair is, it's made to come down like this. Yes. So if you are a gal that loves, or a guy that loves bangs or fringe, as they call it in some parts of the world, this has the perfect fringe. I mean, look at that.
So cute.
It may not be, the bangs may be too heavy for me, but
yeah, like you said, so you can have it thinned out, you can have it trimmed up a little bit.
At myself here to see how the wig is on. I'm trying to. Sorry.
It looks great.
You like that?
The color's a little darker and a little more of a warmer tone.
Yeah.
But I love that.
I think it's a very close to Shade of Cappuccino, but there's more gold in here.
Yes.
That's what I'm picking up, is more gold. Where I think Shade of Cappuccino has a little bit of gold, but has maybe, I don't know, more cooler, maybe platinum or whatever. But I thought the color I was thrilled. When I got this wig, the fibers are fantastic. I couldn't believe it. I was sent this for review, and I was like, I looked at it and I said, holy cow, because this is a new color, right? I love the color, because immediately I said, Shade of Cappuccino, Shade of Cappuccino. I loved it. And I couldn't believe how affordable this is. It was amazing. But like I said, I would do a little thinning here. I probably would trim my bangs a little bit. Haven't done anything to it. So it never needed any dry shampoo. It wasn't shiny. I got it, I shook it, I hung it upside down.
So I love that you said that, you use dry shampoo, you hung it upside down, things like that. What are your favorite wig tips that you cannot take a wig out of a box without doing these things and wearing it? So what are your favorite tips?
The first thing I do is I shake it tremendously. I shake it. I give it a good shake. And then I have, like those pants hangers that, you hang pants on. I take, and I would probably, from the inside, and I would hang it upside down from this end on one of those. And then I would take my fingers and I would just go through the fibers of the hair as it's hanging upside down. And depending on how much box hair it has, you can actually spritz a little bit of water on it, and that kind of will help you with the shape. But I could never put a wig on without shaking the heck out of it, to be honest with you. I shake it, and I hang it upside down. And at any given time, I have a pants hanger with 2 wigs hanging on either end of it. And I do that. And so if I let it sit that way for a day or 2 days, all the more power to him. I work full time, so it I might get a wig on Tuesday, but I won't be able to film until Saturday or wear it. So I just shake it and hang it upside down. When I'm not wearing it, if if it's not on my styrofoam or these little collapsible ones,
Mm-hmm.
if it's not on one of those, I will either store it in the box or in a plastic bag, like a gallon bag, like on my trip where I'm going to take my wig. Now, here's the way I do it. I really don't know what is the right way to do it, but I would take my wig, I would fold it inside out in half like this, and I would keep this part flat because I don't want to fold along my lace front. And I would just keep it flat and go like this so that it's like that, and then stick it in a plastic bag.
That's perfect.
And that's
because
how
sometimes sorry to interrupt.
No, that's okay.
Sometimes the lace, usually the mono is sturdy enough and it's far back enough where it's okay if you fold the mono. But the lace, I've noticed sometimes people will store it and the lace is kind of rolled back or folded back, and it's really hard to get that out. Yeah, so just be careful with that. We had a couple of questions come in. Somebody asked, I feel like my Jackson by Noriko is too heavy on the top. Can I have it thinned by a stylist? The answer is yes. Not every stylist works with wigs, so it's good to kind of research that a little bit. If you go on hairyouwear.com, you can actually put your zip code in and look for authorized retailers and look for wig shops. A lot of them have been trained by Hair You Wear, and they know how to thin out the wig and they can help you with that. So that's kind of a resource that you have at your fingertips, or you can DM me and I can help you do that. But yeah, you can totally have it thinned out. I feel like a lot of times a wig looks so much better once you trim the bang a little bit, you thin it out. It always helps. I don't know who just came on the live with me here. This is a new woman down here. And then another question, they said that's such a good tip. Is it okay to store the wig on the hanger too? Answer is yes. I just wouldn't clip it on anything that's hand tied or delicate. Like Monika said, she clips it from the bottom, which is like the sturdiest part of the cap, kind of from the neckline. But yeah, you could do it on the hanger. Now, if you like a really sleek, flat look, I would not recommend hanging them upside down because it kind of does add a little bit more volume. But other than that, yeah, definitely feel free to do that. Okay, what are you wearing now?
I am wearing, I gotta look at it, Energize.
Oh, so pretty.
SS 1488.
I'm gonna pull this one up because I want to say this one's also $89.
So Energize for me, again, Energize, the bangs come down, but for me personally, I need permatease.
Mm-hmm.
If you are not a permatease person and you want an affordable piece like this, the fibers are fantastic. They feel so good. They look so realistic, but no permatease for me. And so I really struggle with the no permatease. I like a little bit of a lift, and that's just me. And this is a little bit golden for me.
It's pretty though. I like it. Like for summer, it's so cute.
Yeah. And again, I don't have a wig cap on, so some of my bio hair is sticking out in the back. But yeah.
If you guys are just joining us, you'll have to rewatch we'll save this live and you'll have to rewatch it because Monika, that clip with the scrunchie, my little emoji, I'm just like that. My brain is just, that was amazing, incredible. I love that. I
love my scrunchie
that from now on. I know. Okay, so we're running out of time, but and we have 2 giveaway winners. So if we run out of time, we'll announce it on our stories after the live. But Monika, I definitely want you to have a couple of minutes to just give us some last, parting words of wisdom. You have such a great perspective and outlook on alternative hair that I love so much and so inspiring. But just give us any last words of wisdom that you have.
Well, last words of wisdom. I think for me personally, I will not try a wig on unless I have my makeup on. So if I get a new wig in and I have no makeup on, I know I'm not going to like it. It's going to look awful on me.
Wow.
So I won't bother. So words of wisdom, when you first put that wig on, it is going to feel like you are wearing a bozo clown hat or something like that, or a helmet, because it is more hair than you're used to, without a doubt. And if you don't have any makeup on and you put this on, you're not going to look good to yourself. You're going to look and you're going to feel really negative about yourself. So put some makeup on, play with your hair, understand it takes a while to get used to all that volume that you're going to have. Take baby steps. I mean, go to the store, go to a place where nobody knows you, walk out, feel comfortable, but stand tall and don't whisper, because you probably look fantastic. And I think the last thing, I belong to a number of different groups and private groups. If you have a brand new wig and you are posting in a group and you're asking people that don't know you, what do they think of this? Does this look wiggy? I see that often. Does this look wiggy? Well, if people don't know what you really look like normally, the wig isn't going to look wiggy. They're going to say, wow, that looks really great. Because to them, they don't know you. And it does look really great, you know? So be careful if you're asking people that don't know you how it really looks, or take their advice when they say it does not look wiggy. Believe them, because you'll look in the mirror and you go, it looks wiggy, because you know you're used to yourself without it. I don't know how to explain it, but there's a lot of good support groups out there. And if you're going to be buying online, go to a reputable shop. The wig company has been awesome as far as their service. They've been just fantastic. I've enjoyed all my, and you know what? They're so super generous, because if you post a picture on Instagram and you're wearing one of their pieces, they repost it. They repost it on their stories. They repost it everywhere. So it's really, really super supportive. And I'm thrilled to be here. I can't believe I actually did it though.
I know. You said you had never done a live before?
Not on Instagram. I have done a live on YouTube. Yeah, but never on Instagram. So.
Well, we're honored that you were our guest. It was amazing talking to you and getting to know you more. I can't wait to see what you wear to the wedding. I'm going to be looking for that. And just thank you all of you that joined in and commented and asked questions and were just amazing to interact with. We're going to wrap it up. We're right at the hour. So all of you guys that stayed this whole time, thank you so much. And if you didn't get to watch the whole thing, look for it on our feed. We're going to share it and repost it and save it. But Monika, you were great. Thank you so much. I can't wait to talk to you more.
Thank you for having me. And thank you everyone who was with us tonight. It was awesome. I couldn't read all the comments because I don't have my glasses on, but
everybody loved it. You look amazing. They said you did great. So thank you guys so much. And thank you again, Monika. And thank you to the wig company that made this all happen. Everybody have an amazing weekend and stay safe and enjoy the great weather. Hopefully everybody has great weather this weekend.
Bye everyone.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye, Monika.
Thank you. Bye-bye. Thank you for my Raquel Welch hairpiece. I've been
Of course. Bye, guys.
Bye.